The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com.
Some of the best music you're going to hear today, the Cheap Seats background music.
I think that's the best one. Jim's pretty good. That's a challenge.
It's pretty good. Who put that together? One of those clowns? Joe Ryan, Jake Johnson with you, and welcome to the Cheap Seats. And we're sitting out at Culver's today, which is pretty good food, Jake, I'm going to say.
Yes, I completely agree. One of the better burgers.
Big old double burger with cheese. Nothing like it. Some curds. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then you get some chocolate ice cream in there.
Not putting bacon on the burger.
That works well also. I can put it on the burger.
Yeah, there you go.
Lloyd Kirby's around the camera. Jim Ash with us. We're missing the smartest guy from the show.
Yeah, he's in a bar still, passed out.
Yeah, after that Illinois loss. I wore my Illinois gear today. I was all prepared for a win.
For a W?
Yeah. And
you know they were playing Maryland, correct?
Yeah, they have problems with the Terrapins.
Oh, Maryland's tough, especially for Illinois. They play them well.
They do play them well. Last night was really just wow. Because I thought Illinois could make a run. Obviously, Scotty did. He went all the way over, stayed all night.
Well, he was pretty confident that that's exactly what was going to happen, was they were going to make a run, and his dreams were shattered.
And they got ran.
When Scotty shows up, it's amazing how he can draw the energy out of everything.
He took the energy right out of that place, didn't he? I hope he's listening. Well, we are joined by three lovely ladies today that are members of the Prairieland Punishers flat track roller derby team, right? Flat track. Yep. Now, we're going to make you all say your names because we really don't know all of you. So tell us who you are.
Do you want our real names or our derby names?
No, we want real names first, and then we're going to derbies, because I did want to throw out there your coach's name. Where did I see that at? I wrote it down here.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. I'll
His
find it.
eyesight's awful. You have to
Coach
understand.
Slammin' Tequila.
Yep.
Is that your coach?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's a great name. We need to have these little names. Yeah, so go ahead, tell us your name and then your name on the court.
Okay, my name is Devin Duncan. I'm from here in Lincoln. My name on the track is Helga Huffletuff.
Say that one again.
Helga Huffletuff.
I'm Danny Hernan. I'm also from here in Lincoln, and my derby name is Squirrely Danny.
And
okay.
My name is Sierra Henry, and I'm from Bloomington, and my name is Leonard Skinher.
Now, are these names do you pick your own name, or does your teammates pick your name?
We pretty much pick your own name.
Okay.
Some people, they kind of toss it out as like who likes what, and we kind of discuss it back and forth, but most of it is our own picking.
I like it.
Yeah.
And do you have like bruisers and those type of names out there also? Like, because you got to have don't you have to have the tough ones? Maybe you guys are the tough ones. I don't know.
What are some of our teammates' names?
There's Kloe.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Claw sounds dangerous.
Yeah. We have a Crash Test Bunny.
Okay.
Bobby Pin You Down.
Spite Mare.
Yeah.
Saltine Cracker Jackers.
Yeah.
Like that.
# smash tag.
Yeah.
And she does smash.
Yes,
Yeah.
she does smash.
She'll lay you out.
Well, I think, okay, so we're going to go to the beginning of this a little bit. This thing cuts out a little bit. I don't know if you know that. Let's go to the beginning of this.
Okay.
You've been around a while, but you spoke earlier about how COVID had kind of dismantled things.
Yeah, so actually I used to play in Springfield, and then COVID unfortunately kind of dissolved a few teams, and then I would say a lot of Central Illinois people went to the Decatur Punishers instead. So now it's just a Central Illinois-based team. Yeah.
And you play where?
So we practice in Maroa,
At where in Monroe?
Like it's their city hall. I think it's like a
City Hall.
It's like an old grade school gym.
Yeah. It's their city hall, their police department. There's a lot of things going on in there. Yeah. Their community center.
Yep.
And we practice there on Sundays and Tuesdays, but we have home bouts, 3 home games this season, 2 in Decatur at the Civic Center and 1 in Bloomington at the Interstate Center. So we're trying to bring in, we're a Central Illinois team, so we're spreading our home games out and splitting them between Bloomington and Decatur.
And how many people are on the team? Ladies.
Like 30.
I saw the picture. It was a
I think
bunch.
30. Yeah.
Do you have a chief rival or team you really want to play, and maybe a team you really want to dominate?
I don't know if we have like a hometown rival. I know we're playing Southern Illinois Roller Gremlins next weekend. They're probably one of the closer teams to us, but we also have played Aurora a couple different times. We played, what was the Windy City Rollers. Yeah, we played them in a tournament last summer, and they were really fun. And we travel quite a bit, so we're going to Lafayette, Indiana later this year, Ohio. We've been to Ohio last year, so we're going back to play a different team. We're playing Athens Roller Derby, and then in August we're going to Cape Girardeau.
Oh, big season then.
Yeah, how many do you have in the season? I saw a schedule. It looked like maybe
6.
6 or 8. Was it
Yeah.
6,
Yeah.
6 of them. And how does one join the team?
That's a great question, Danny.
Question for
So
Danny.
we hold a boot camp every fall after our season. So throughout the season, at different events and our bouts, people sign up and they want to come. So then we're always recruiting. So, but yeah, we hold a 6-week boot camp every fall, and people come to do that. And if they want to continue, then they just get to be on the team the next year. And
So tell us a little bit about boot camp. Should we have some, well, not we, but should you have some roller skating experience?
we'll teach anything. Most people do come in with being able to at least roll, but like honestly, you don't have to. Like I've also seen skaters in the years I've done it that could barely roll, and you just keep working, and we'll teach you everything you need to know, including how to fall without
I was going to ask that.
hopefully getting hurt.
So I watched a little film, and it looked like you guys were practicing the fall.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Skating around and going to your knees.
Yes, that's a
Slide
very
down.
important skill to have because
100%.
you
We
gotta
fall a lot.
you fall a lot, you get hit. You need to be able to control your body. So when you get those big hits, that's what we were practicing, is falling small, because if you just kind of flop on the track, you'll get a penalty. So you gotta be able to control your body and fall small, and then also make sure that you're not taking your teammates down with you, because that can happen when you're playing at that level. So it's one of the first basic skills that we teach.
And get your hands out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're going to get ran
Definitely.
over.
They will get ran over.
I saw a picture of it.
Yeah.
Do you furnish roller skates? Or do they need to bring their skates?
During boot camp, we have skates, right?
Yeah, we have loaner gear, so when skaters start out, because it's kind of a big expense, and
Sure.
you don't want to get started and find out it's not for you and you've spent all this money. So we do have loaner gear with the intention of, if you continue doing it, just buying what you can as you can eventually. So it's nobody has to come in with every single thing and all the best stuff, because it is a little pricey. So
Well, you have some gear on. I mean, you have to run by Dick's Sporting Goods to play, right? Like, you had knee pads and shoulder pads and helmets and skates.
I don't know that it's anything you could get at Dick's Sporting Goods. All of mine was ordered online mostly. Yeah.
I don't know either.
I think you can get some of it at Shields these days.
probably could.
As roller skating is getting bigger, I think you can buy some of it in the stores now. Yeah.
And you guys, how long have you been doing it, like each one of you?
I think I started in 2018, but then COVID took out a couple of years of that, so I feel like I started over
Better use
when I
of words
rejoined.
there.
Yes.
Yep. Way better.
I started in 2022, which was kind of our rebuilding year. So we didn't compete that year. So I basically got a year-long boot camp.
I started with boot camp in 2023, so last season was my first full season on the track, and I'm looking forward to playing this season too.
Nice.
Well, in case we have some ladies out there that are paying attention, tell us a little bit about the boot camp. You say 6 weeks. Is it like every day and stuff?
No. It's Sundays and Tuesdays, our normal practice times that we have boot camps, and it's 6 weeks pretty much straight through. I think there's like one day this year that we can't have the building, but you just come and we just start slow and build on like this, rolling and falling, and just build on those skills. And by the end of boot camp, hopefully you have a good base of knowledge to come into the next year and get started with the team.
I know Joe's asking a lot of these questions because he actually has a good friend in mind with this, Bridget Thomas. I believe is really interested in getting into
Bridget
this
would
sport.
love to be involved in this.
And she's mean. so she would really enjoy it.
Well, I would also. What's wrong with this? I would like to know like the rules, because the only thing we know about, we talked about before we went on the air, was I call it the olden days, but you used to turn on a cable station and pow, there they were, and they were up against rails and knocking people over rails and.
No, it's Saturday mornings right after cartoons was roller derby.
Yeah, so I don't even know the rules. What is the object of?
Who wants to take this one? You want me to?
Well, go ahead. Any of us go.
So when you're on the track, you have four blockers and then one jammer. Your jammer essentially is trying to make it around the track.
I want to pause a second. How many are out there at once?
It'd be 8. Well, yeah.
Four blockers from each team, so 8 blockers and 2 jammers, so 10 players are on the track.
Okay.
Given nobody's in the penalty box.
Yeah. There's lots of rules.
I was just going to say.
Lots of little nuances and things to learn as you go, and I feel like all three of us are probably still learning those. But I would
There's
say
10 from each team start
Yes.
the match. Is that what
No,
it's called?
10 total.
5 from each team.
Five
From each team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a little slow on this. That's fine.
I've got an ear. This thing goes out all the time. I can't hear.
So I guess we could just start at how a jam starts. So you have the 8 blockers, and then here's a line right here, and you have 2 jammers. They blow the whistle. The jammers are trying to get through the blockers, the opposite team's blockers. So if I'm jamming, I'm trying to get through the other team's blockers. I make it around the track, and I'm trying to go through them again. The second time around, I'm scoring points. So as many hips as I pass, so as many bodies on the other team as I pass, I'm getting points for. So you want a jammer that is quick and agile and is working her way through, because as many times as she can get through the bodies is how many points she racks up for that jam.
Are you guys jammers? Anybody a jammer?
No.
You got 3
Absolutely not.
blockers here.
So who's keeping track of that? There's somebody in the middle of
Yes.
it that's an official?
How many officials?
I don't know how many officials, but if you go to a bout, and we'd love to have you all come to our bout next week, you'll see a lot of officials on the floor.
Yeah.
There's people in the middle who are watching, not just the jammers to see who gets lead, because that's also really important, which jammer makes it through the pack first, because they'll be able to call off the jam at any time. And then there'll be officials watching for penalties from the middle and from the outside. And then we have non-skating officials who run the penalty box, and then also are keeping track of the number of penalties, or if there's a star pass, which is again another nuance when the jammer can't make it out through the pack, takes off her helmet cover, passes it to the designated pivot, and then they get to score points.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of rules.
Sounds a little bit like rocket science.
Very much so.
It kind of feels like that when you first start.
Yeah, when you first start, it feels like that when you're out there and you don't know what's going on. So,
But you just keep going and figuring it out as you go along.
So
If you come watch a game, though, you kind of start to pick up on it.
I wouldn't mind going and watching a game.
yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
It's about.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's about so there was in the olden days there was always that like a big dude out there, a guy that was kind of running things. Is that so? Do we have that?
You mean like an official
Yes.
running things? Yeah, there is a head official that is kind of in charge of everything.
And so are they? what are the, I guess back to rules, what's a penalty? Can you guys, the blockers, can you join arms and?
No. That's called a multiplayer. So that would be a penalty. You would go to the penalty box for 30
Now
seconds
you're
for that.
playing with one lady down.
Yes. And so when the jammer goes through and you're one lady down, they are automatically getting a point for the person in the penalty box when they pass. So you don't want to be in the penalty box.
There's also track cuts. So if, say, you hit a jammer or a blocker out of the track, they have to enter behind the opposite team.
Yes.
And if they don't, that's called a track cut, and they will also be sent to the penalty box for that.
Yeah, so you can't just like skate off the track and come back in. You gotta reset your
We're
position.
gonna have to go
Now,
to
this is a
commercial.
flat track, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, you don't have those embankments like back in the day.
Right.
So it's probably a little harder to stay on the track, right?
During bout days, there's actually a rope underneath the tape, so you can feel it when you go out. It helps when you're in the moment.
That's super helpful because it's so chaotic. Sometimes you don't even know, like if you're not playing, if you're just scrimmaging, you just have the tape down. Sometimes you won't even know that you got hit out because you're so focused on what's going on. But in practice, what we really work on is that track awareness and building up those skills to say, oh, I was hit out. Don't panic and just get back on the track. You got to make sure that you're watching who hit you out, how far they run you back, because they can run you back 10 feet. That's a strategy that you'll have, especially when you hit the jammer out. So, there's a lot to it with that.
It's honestly really impressive watching the more seasoned skaters. They just know where the line is. They've just been doing it for so long. They inherently just know how far to go.
It's very interesting.
Yes.
What's the average score of a bout?
150, 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can go pretty high.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you're jammed out and you have to get in behind the other team, you have to break through those people? Are they not letting you back up with your team?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes that's kind of a strategy to keep a player back,
And not scoring points, yeah.
even if it's a blocker, because then the other team is playing with one blocker down when your jammer goes through. So it just kind of depends, because sometimes they may not even be paying that much attention. Other times they are. It just depends on what their strategy is for that at that
Well,
time.
this is all real, correct? Like, did it used
I mean, it's
to
not
be,
fake, Joe. Obviously.
Did it used to be like kind of like WWF?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
No,
In the
it's
old
all
days.
it's all very real. I promise.
It's not scripted.
No.
Scripted was the word I'm looking for. He's much smarter than I am. But
Yeah.
if you, so is there? Didn't you used to grab someone and like,
Slingshots.
yeah, slingshot? Look, he's got all the words.
So you can.
I told you, I used to watch this every weekend.
Aston, you need to talk.
That is still a strategy, yes. It's called a whip, and it is a strategy that some people on our team use to get the jammer through. They'll actually like pull them or even push them. I mean, anything is fair game if it's your own team.
Now, can you guys use your elbows and everything? Or
No.
Okay, so that's probably pretty helpful, not getting hurt.
Yes.
I was gonna say that caused some big
No, there's
injuries
like
there.
legal hitting, like in legal hitting zones. So like you use like kind of your shoulder and upper arm or like your hips and stuff. But no elbowing. You'll get a penalty immediately for that. No shoving like with your hands.
And you
and stuff
also,
like that.
you also can't hit anybody like in the spine just for back injuries and safety, things like that. So if you're hitting somebody, it has to be like in the front, on the side. It can't be directly on the spine and in the back.
So tell us about the game. Are you going in quarters? Are you going like you just?
There's two 30-minute periods with a 15-minute intermission
Yeah.
between the periods.
Like a halftime,
Yeah.
With a running clock when you're going.
Yeah, it is a running clock with the jam, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think the clock stops in between jams.
You stumped us.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like.
I'm confused.
Yeah, there's like each jam is 2 minutes unless the lead jammer calls it off, but the clock does stop like between jams, I think.
So in the intermission, is it like, can the fans go get like drinks and stuff then? I mean, is it like, you guys got like beer and everything
Oh
there?
yeah, we'll have a
Oh
beer
yeah, I'll
garden.
hit her. Oh yeah.
Beer
I know you were
garden,
thinking it.
Pizza. We'll have merch there. We'll have some vendors from local some local vendors selling, jewelry or whoever we're inviting. And then another big important thing to remember too is this upcoming bout. Proceeds are going to benefit the American Cancer Society. So every home bout that we have, we donate a portion of the proceeds to local charities. We, as a team, decide what charities that we want to benefit each season. American Cancer Society is the one that we will be benefiting next week. And the Punishers, since our inception in 2011, we have actually donated more than $30,000 to area charities.
Very nice.
What's the gate cost to get in?
It's $15 for VIP tickets, $10 for general admission, and $5 for kids.
VIP tickets.
Let's
okay.
talk about VIP. So where are we sitting? In the middle?
VIP, well, because there's seats on the floor, and then there's like bleachers. So VIP, you get the closer seats.
Get right in the action.
I mean, you can sit like literally. There's spots where you're sitting like right outside where skaters are. So I mean, you're not right next to the track. There's a whole.
I was gonna say, are you catching them as they're flying off the track? Or?
Possibly.
Some of them.
Hopefully not.
Those really close seats, you have to be like 18 and up to sit there because somebody could come flying off the track. But
do fights break out?
No.
That almost sounds like.
I was gonna say, I don't know about that answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Are you imagining it like a hockey fight?
That's what I was wondering.
No,
Just a little chippy. Just a little chippy.
Yeah, everybody gets a little aggravated, and somebody pushed you out, and then you're flying back in. I mean,
Maybe a little
seems like
slap
it
to
could
the back
happen.
of the head as you roll by, and the
Maybe-
officials aren't paying attention.
Maybe not like that, but I would say it's definitely very physical.
There are a lot of emotions on the track. It is a very involved game, and when you're playing, you're hitting. There are opportunities where you can get a little frustrated with what another team might be doing. I'd say that we all work it out at the end because we have after parties where both teams actually come and gather. So we try to leave whatever happened on the track on the track.
Yeah.
Sounds very entertaining.
The after party.
All of it. We need to get over there. So if you get penalized, you're going to sit out for how long? And you could have 2 or 3 people sitting out at once, and the other team's just jamming.
Yeah, actually, Danny knows a lot about this.
Oh yeah, I was
You get a lot of penalties?
No, I was on the track by myself one time. This was like early last year, and I like looked around, and I was like, and my coach was just like, just run. So I just started skating because I was like, how am I gonna stop anybody by myself? This was like early in my second season, like competing. So
And they're scoring a bunch of points
yeah.
because you can't stop.
Every time they passed her, they would score points for the whole team, but that's why she was just skating to try
Yeah.
to keep them from passing her.
Yeah.
So how long does that person, you do something wrong, how long do you go there and sit? Like a minute?
30 seconds.
Oh, 30 seconds. And there's somebody keeping track of that?
Yep.
And okay, you can go back in?
Yep. A roller derby bout actually takes a lot of hands on deck to get it
There's
done.
a lot going on here.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We rely very heavily on volunteers, not only from our community, but from the roller derby community in general. That's why it's like there's teams in Peoria, Champaign, Southern Illinois, and you'll see people travel from those areas to help and volunteer in NSO, and then they'll play later on in our scrimmages that we have. So we'll have our main game, and then we'll have a scrimmage, and usually those people who volunteered in NSO for those first games, they'll play in that second game. And then the Punishers will swap and kind of do some officiating and NSOing.
Do you guys have like somebody running the clock? Because I know somebody really good at that.
I mean, we're always looking for volunteers.
Yeah.
You could run the clock for him, Joe.
God.
I mean, he's done this before and been scolded.
Neil has broken
Yeah.
me of that.
I don't know with the way you're volunteering him. I don't know that we trust that.
Oh,
Well, he's my ride, so
you can trust it. And you know, honestly, if you needed like a
Slingshot?
Seems like back in the day they had like a guy on the sideline that was kind of like the coach, but he really wasn't a coach. He was just kind of an instigator of things. He'd be really good at that.
Instigating things.
Oh, yeah.
I can see that.
no, I am not. I did see where you had some deal for 3 home games, $40 or something.
Yeah, it's our season pass.
Yes, our VIP season pass. You can buy them; they're available, and that will get you a VIP ticket to all 3 of our home games. And I think it's a $5 saving. So if you wanted to go to, if you know you're wanting to go to all of those games, it's a good deal for you.
think we should get some to give away on the radio. There you go.
Yeah.
That's all about it.
And you said how many ladies are on the team? And what's the ages?
More than 30, and it's a very wide age.
I mean, you have to be 18 or something?
Yeah.
18 up, because we have a pretty wide range of ages, so.
Yeah, we have to be careful. These younger kids, they're a little more athletic than some of us older people.
I think you would be impressed by some of the athleticism on our team with the older generation. Yeah.
Good on skates.
Yes.
Probably have some ice skaters out there, don't you, that know what they're doing?
They know what they're doing, yeah.
Can you roller skate, Jay?
No. Nope. I did back in the day. Tried it a few years ago. I'm like,
It's an all skate.
this is a different thing.
You skate backwards?
I would fall backwards.
Can all of you guys skate backwards?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. I think the only one in here that can is Lloyd. You can? Was there anything else you'd like to throw out there at us as we near our time? Like anything like a website or phone number or getting involved or anything like that?
So our website is prairielandpunishers.com. I need to double check. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We'll be having a lot of social media updates. That's where we promote all of our ticket sales. And then this fall is when we'll have our boot camp, which I don't know, Danny, when you might have.
Yeah, we usually try to have information on that. We already have dates set. We just don't have like the place to sign up for it yet. But as we have different events, we'll start putting that out there as well.
I will throw in. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I will throw in that we will have skaters at all three of the St. Patrick's Day parades today. So Springfield, Decatur, and in Bloomington Normal. Yeah. So if you're there, say hi to us. We'll be skating. We'll be passing out some candy, some of our information. So if you're interested in roller derby, stop us and say hi.
Yeah. Very cool. Sounds very interesting. I think we need to go over and watch sometime.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. You need
Especially since they have alcohol. That'll make it even.
We're going VIP, though.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
And the home matches are played where? Bouts? The home bouts are where?
So our first two home bouts next weekend is in Decatur at the Civic Center. We will have our next home game also at the Decatur Civic Center against Como Roller Derby on June 21st. And then we'll be in Bloomington on September 6th, and we will be playing Demolition City Roller Derby out of Evansville, Indiana.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having us.
It's very interesting. We're going to have to pay attention.
It's very entertaining.
Next time you're on, we'll be much smarter about this.
Because we'll probably go.
Yeah, you come, so then you have, better questions. No, I mean,
right.
good questions.
More questions.
No, you were right off the bat.
It's very confusing.
Yes, it is very confusing. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, ladies. And that's the Prairieland Punishers. And get over and see them sometime. We've given out some information on it. Look them up. Get involved. Join.
Yeah.
Get on the team.
Absolutely.
All right.
We would love to have you.
You're on the cheap seats. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll be visiting with Kloe Froebe. Stay with us.
This is Corporal Brian Clements with the Lincoln Police Department. This week, Lincoln Logan County Crime Stoppers is seeking information in reference to 2 burglaries in Lincoln that have occurred recently. A building at 523 North Elm Street was burglarized during the February 1st weekend. Another building at 411 North Chicago Street was burglarized on the weekend of February 3rd. Multiple expensive tools were taken from both locations. If you have any information on this crime, please contact the Lincoln Logan County Crime Stoppers anonymously at 217-732-3000 or the Lincoln Police Department at 217-732-2151. Tips leading to an arrest could receive a cash reward up to $1,000. Crime Stoppers only wants your information and not your name.
The Lincoln Logan County Crime Stoppers Crime of the Week is brought to you by Me Realty, supporting a thriving community safe for families through support of the Crime Stoppers program. Me Realty, 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 20.
There it is, the final buzzer. Lincoln is your Class 3A state champions.
This is Kloe Froebe from the 2024 Lady Railers State Champion Basketball Team, and you're listening to Cheap Seats on WLCN.
just like listening to it. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats. And you just heard from Kloe Froebe, and now she's joining us with her partner, Piper Whiteman. Look at them both popping on. Piper's a surprise guest. Kloe was going to be here, but Piper said she wanted to sing, so we said she can come on.
You can come on this time.
No.
She said she would, and we said,
It's like
you're
Batman
on.
and Robin rolling it. You know what I mean?
It comes as a package deal.
We love it. A little duet you're going to sing towards the end of the show, so stay tuned. Right, Jacob?
Could be fantastic. Well, stay tuned.
Well, Kloe, we haven't had, I don't believe we've had you on since you ran out west, have we?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
You took off, and then we haven't had you on since.
Yes.
So we're going to ask you some dumb questions, because I know from seeing on the internet that you are now a professional, because you have like pressers and things after the game. They're very cool with the stuff behind you.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. Reminds me of State a little bit.
It's
Yeah.
very cool. Isn't that pretty special when they say, "Hey, we want you after the game," and you go on and
Yeah,
talk?
you know you had a good game when they asked you to go talk in the
Jake and I
press
have never
conference.
experienced that.
Nope, not once in our career.
But you finished 22-10, 13-5 in the conference.
Yeah.
That's a great season.
Yeah, it was a great season. Lots of learning and some big wins, some tough losses, but overall it was a great freshman year.
Third in the Mountain West Conference, right?
Yes,
Which were?
for regular season. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then the last one, the last loss kind of hurt. We're going kind of starting back here, but you.
Is that Fresno
Yeah.
State?
Yes.
And you'd already beat them by 20.
Yeah, I think it was a little unexpected, that loss, for sure. I don't think anyone was, planning on that. I know my family, all of them had tickets till Thursday, so hoping to get to that championship. But in our conference, it's a great conference, and any team can beat any team any night. And
Sure.
that's what's really, really cool about it, is like the bottom of the league. They're not like a bad team. Like they have great players, and so that's what's really great about it. But then again, it's not ideal to lose that first round game at all.
Just walk off going like that.
Yeah.
That was Scotty last night after the Illini game.
Yeah. Wow.
Poor guy.
Let's not bring that back up. That's horrible. I wore my Illini gear anyway, but my Lions.
That's his way of rubbing it in.
It's not. I wear the Cardinal gear all the time. They're horrible. So we're gonna drift back in time a little bit for you.
Okay.
Okay, with some of these questions. We want to know about that. You've obviously had this career in high school, and you've ran off, and you're going to Colorado State. We want to know about that first day. You kind of got dropped off. Everybody left you, and you're at Colorado State going to college. How was all that? Intimidating, or?
Yeah, it was different. My parents stayed a few days after they dropped me off, so that was nice to have them there.
By the end, were you like, okay, guys? I'll be on. Now my daughter's sophomore year, when I dropped her off, she's like, all right, Dad, it was good to see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, by a few weeks, I was like calling them, "Are you guys coming back?
Yep.
When are your tickets back?" So it was nice. I have a roommate from Illinois, and so that was also nice to kind of share that with her. But
you're still 18 years old and going a long way from home for the first time.
Yeah, it was definitely a change, but with technology now, it was so nice. I could just call whenever and see their faces and talk to crews, and with Caden going so far too, that also helps. He was in Florida, and so I say now my mom's like a professional travel agent. She booked me a flight within 12 hours. I told her I need to come home Thursday. Well, I landed actually from Vegas Wednesday night. I go to my dorm, and then Thursday I'm like, I can come home now, and she just booked me a flight just so fast, just like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm coming home today now.
First class.
No.
We'll work on that.
No, she finds the good ones that are nice and cheap, so it's
Nice.
good. Yeah.
Nice and
Nothing
cheap.
wrong with that.
Well, we know that.
Get you where it needs to be. That's all that matters.
And you know what? It's not a long flight, so that's not bad.
No, it actually ended up being like a little over an hour, and like
Yeah.
I didn't even have time to like take a good nap. I was
Yep.
like sleeping, and then they were like, "We're landing," and I'm like, "What?"
That is a nice thing about a plane. You get in there, you hear the humming of the motor or the engines, and you're just like, all right, snooze button.
I'm a headphones guy. I don't ever hear them.
Are you really? Oh, yeah.
Get in and put them on. I don't know what anybody's saying.
Yeah.
Is it? How long do you think it took you to adjust? Like to go, hey, I'm really at college and I've got to do some homework and I've got to do some basketball and.
Yeah, I think just that summer, since I only had like one class I was taking, it kind of just felt like I was away at like a camp. And so I don't think it really set in then. But I think the biggest change was kind of like that November to January time, like during Christmas, because I only came home for like 3 days total, like 2 travel days in there. So it was kind of really weird just like being on campus, especially with all of the college students like gone. So it was just like empty, not much going on. And so I'm just sitting in our dorm room. Like we would drive around and look at Christmas lights on houses and stuff just for fun because there was nothing else to do.
We're in a beautiful part of the country, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I could drive through the mountains at night. It's really pretty too. But yeah, I think that's when it started to really set in, like that I was like that far with.
So when you popped on that court for the first time in a Division I basketball game, what was that like? Nervous? Were you?
Did you start your first game?
No, we had an exhibition game and that one went pretty well. But actually the first like 2 games took a little adjusting and just like kind of getting used to it all and everything. But after that, it was like a constant like kind of like roller coaster, like up and down, like so it was weird in that way, but it was great that I was still getting like experience as a freshman and just like learning the ropes and what the coaches expect and all that.
Well, you know, I've always said, I've never experienced this, so I'm making this up, but I've always said that some of the biggest adjustment for you would be, you know, you never really not started a game in your entire life, and then all of a sudden you go somewhere where you don't. You know, how do you adjust to coming into that game, you know, being the role player and all that? I would think that would be very tough to do.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge just learning that, and I started quite a few games and then I ended up not starting them, so it was kind of weird like adjusting to that, but it overall ended up being just a year full of just learning. And
sure,
yeah, I had a lot of like older girls who were great, like there to help and guide, and so that was really nice.
The speed of the game transitioning from high school and to college, I mean, was there a big difference in that, or did you find it pretty easy to overcome that?
I mean, it kind of reminded me a lot of just like AAU, so I would do a lot of like traveling in like July and April maybe, like in the spring season, and so you're playing a lot of those girls that are like out on the court now. I played a few of them during AAU, and so like I knew them, and so it wasn't like a huge adjustment for me, but the shot clock was a little new. Haven't really had that, but I mean, as Coach Rohr would always say, we didn't like a shot clock would actually help us, because I mean we shot within the first like 15 seconds, so
scored more points.
They scored 100 and something plus.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad.
So how long did it take you to kind of, because I know that you did fit in, because I went and took a look at this, all of a sudden the third game in, you play BYU and you throw up 14 points.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, did you go, hey, you know what? Not that you ever thought, can I do this? But like when you put up 14 against BYU, did you kind of walk off and go, hey, you know what? I belong here. I can do this.
Yeah, the first 2 games I was a little like, whoa, what's going on? Like, I don't think I scored really. And so it was kind of just like, all right, I need to make some sort of change. I need to do something. And so I kind of went into that game with like like a different kind of mentality and challenged myself a little bit more. And I remember when that first like layup went in, I think it was, I was like, okay, like it's fine now. Like it's just a game I've been playing since like preschool. So.
Well, and you have to come in, I mean, let's face it, with all the accolades that you had, you know, and you have a third-year girl on the team or whatever, do they like, you got to come in and kind of establish yourself but not cause waves, you know, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be humble, but you got to be like playing with like a chip on your shoulder, playing like confident, knowing that.
I have these for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a little different. You just got to like prove yourself all over again. I feel like it's kind of like freshman year in high school, just kind of like starting over. Like you got to gain all of that respect again, and especially when you're in a different area in this different state that has no idea who you are, doesn't care that you did whatever you did in high school. Yeah.
What do you think was the most difficult part? Like offense, defense, the larger crowds, maybe?
I mean, the larger crowds weren't bad. Lincoln, we played some big crowds with Lincoln fans, so that wasn't bad. But I'd say the defense, just because it was man-to-man, and I've never like played that way. So, and we do a few different like little quirks, I guess, to the game. I mean, we've always, at a Lincoln defense, you don't let the ball in the middle. You force baseline. Here, we force middle. And so that was an adjustment,
really?
Just switching your feet, yeah. We don't give up the baseline. And then just like the offensive rebounding, we don't offensive rebound, which is very controversial, I know, for a lot of people. So I was fortunate enough that I was allowed to offensive rebound, so I was able to get
I was going to say, you always had a nose for the ball, so that had to probably put a wrinkle in your game there.
Yeah, so they let me do that. But then when you have one person that's going in and there's 5 of the defenders going in for a rebound, it's harder to get that when they're just like double teaming, boxing at me.
So what is the thought of that?
Conversion.
Get back, play defense.
Yeah, they don't like giving up like fast break layups. And we do have one of the like lowest conversion ratings, I think, in the country. So
you're working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's throw some of this out here, because when you say that, you talk about the rebounds. San Jose State, 18 points, 10 boards. Nevada, 22 points, 6 boards. Utah State, 20 points, 11 boards. Boise State, 16 points, 2 boards. And then the big one, San Diego State, 18 and 18.
Yes.
18 points and 18 boards. That's incredible. How'd you manage that?
I mean, sometimes the ball just flies to you. I feel like sometimes it's just your game and the ball's like dropping right in front of you, and sometimes it's not. So I feel like that I guess was my game. And
did you strut off the court that night? My lands.
Sounds like a Player of the Week award coming that week. I don't know if that's what happened or not. But.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great game. It was especially great for just like a confidence boost. I think it was like my first one where I was in like higher double digits, so that was nice.
Is there a lot of taller girls in your conference, or a lot of them your height?
It ranges by team. Like, there's a few teams that are all like they're above 5'10" out there, but then there's a few teams where they're like my height or shorter. So just kind of ranges depending on like kind of the style of the coaching. I've noticed that like some coaches like all guards like that are fast and quicker, and then some like to utilize the taller posts and things. So
yeah, there's got to be some. I saw the gosh, who were you playing when I was out there? I can't even remember now. I saw them at the airport. They were big.
Yeah, was that New Mexico?
Yeah, it was New Mexico State, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they were big.
Yeah. New Mexico's pretty strong too.
You guys, did you win that game? Lost that game?
I think we lost the game.
I think you did. I think you did, and we were going to get up and go over there, and then there were like 10 inches of snow, and we were like, no,
Yeah.
we're not going. But
Yeah, because I think my parents were coming to that game too.
yeah, we saw them at the airport.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, we were going to get over there, and then 10 inches of snow came, and I have like tennis shoes. And was not prepared for that. I don't think it was going to snow.
Yeah, and it was like the only
Colorado, that's weird.
well, we don't.
But it wasn't called for. Let's just say that.
Yeah, in Fort Collins, it doesn't. We actually didn't get like terrible snow, but like I felt like every time my parents came out, it was always like it's gonna snow, and I'm like, I'm sorry guys, it doesn't snow like whenever you're not here. But
Dragging that Illinois weather out there.
yes, literally.
So you had to travel to, obviously, just looking at the schedule, to some very cool places.
Yeah, I got to go to California for the first time, which is, I really loved San Diego. Like, we played at San Diego State. We had a Christmas tournament there, and so that was fun to be able to, like, be there during Christmas time a little bit. And then Fresno State, went to Idaho, not much really. Wyoming's quite
Boise,
boring.
did you go to Boise?
Yes, yeah.
It's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
Did you go look at that blue turf?
No, I saw the field, but I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't go and look at it. I should have though. But
Was there a favorite place?
probably San Diego.
Yeah.
I really like there.
Weather's pretty nice.
Yeah, BYU, the campus is really pretty. Actually,
beautiful,
like
isn't it?
the mountain is like right there. Like we thought it was. I felt like it was like a green screen almost because it was so huge. So that was really cool. But yeah, I don't like Wyoming. Not much going on in there. That one was kind of boring.
I said to somebody the other day, I've never been to Wyoming, but every time I'm in Vegas, I see all these people with the Wyoming, emblem on their jackets and everything. I'm like, I'm gonna go there someday, but
Yeah.
not very cool.
I mean, from the little that I saw, I wasn't too impressed. When you're going to places with huge mountains, and California with the palm trees.
Surf or ski?
Pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, see, you'll probably find a future home there somewhere. Looking around.
Maybe.
You go to all those nice places. You want to stay out of this cold weather. We know all that.
Yeah.
We talked. So let's talk about tournament time now, right? Because it's coming up.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So we're not going to make the NCAA tournament because we obviously lost our conference tournament.
But if you win the conference tournament, you're in, right?
Yes, the automatic bid. Yeah, I'm not sure if UNLV will get a bid this year, but they had a pretty good season, so they might be on the bubble. I'm not sure.
They were second.
They finished first in the regular season, but then they actually lost to San Diego State, who ended up winning the tournament.
Okay.
So, but
yeah, and you're pulling an 18 and 18 off of that.
yeah, we beat
that
San
team.
Diego State twice, so it's just like a tough loss in there. But there's a WBIT that we're on the bubble to make, and we'll find that out tomorrow. But it was a very slim chance that we were going to get in, so if not, then we're just done for the year.
Is this your spring break then?
Yes,
Okay.
spring break is this coming up week, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So at UNLV, that's a cool place.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the first. I went out there to watch Jeff Wallace. His son played out there, and it was one of the first. It may have been the first, if you could call it a campus that served alcohol, which I guess everybody does now. But they put the student section at one end behind the basket, and then they had it roped off so that all the students could drink during the game.
Oh, that sounds like something.
And
that
they were.
happened in Vegas.
It was like packed out there, just in one end of Vegas.
Yeah.
And everywhere else, nobody else could drink beer or drink during the games back then on a college campus.
Every time I visit, I'm like, I don't know how these kids go to college or are learning anything or are having any money, because I'm like, Vegas is expensive.
Yes, it'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, and they're right there too. Like the strip is here because we stay on the strip when we go, and it's 10 minutes and we're right at the arena and everything. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. That would not be a good place for an 18-year-old kid to go study for college, Jake.
No. Or a 40-year-old kid to study for anything.
I'm sure.
I mean, we have the furniture market in Vegas.
Yeah. Do you ever go to the actual furniture market?
I'm at the market. I remember parts of it, and then you go out with your reps, and it gets interesting after that, and you don't remember much. It's grown-up life.
Well, I would say all in all, you had a very, very, very successful first year in college basketball. So congratulations.
Well, thank you.
I like that.
Yeah.
And
Big
now we're going to interview Piper.
No.
Piper, did you have any questions for Kloe?
No, I texted her throughout the season, and just checked in and let her know everything. So
One of the biggest super fans, I would say. You're one of the biggest super fans in Lincoln,
Yes.
She actually came and visited in the end of October, so that was nice to have her come out.
Yeah.
And we went to a football game, and because it was during that time, so that was nice. But she actually she would text me after almost every game and stuff. And after the game that I got elbowed in the face and had the stitches and stuff, it was funny because she texted me. She was like, "No, not the nose." She was like, "No, it's never gonna stop bleeding," because she thought it was my nose, and so that was funny.
Not the nose.
Yeah.
How were the football games out there?
They were fun.
It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our football stadium's actually really nice. Our team is okay.
You know what? It doesn't matter though. That environment, you get all the other kids and all the old fans there. It's just you get really into the game.
Do you hate on Colorado?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't like Colorado.
How's Dion likes out there at Colorado State?
Nebraska doesn't like it.
He was at Colorado State this year. My sister and her husband came down to that game. We got beat, but we got to see Dion and all of them, though, so that was cool.
And all of his glory.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Prime.
His sunglasses and...
Something else. I guess he is it, right? I know what I mean.
He's something, that's for sure.
It's, I was going to ask. Oh, and Piper, as an old teammate, what'd you think of your teammate stepping up there?
I loved watching her play, but it was hard to watch her because usually I'm on the court with her. So
Yeah.
But I'm so proud of her. So.
Well, there you go. See?
You know what? And with that being said, the town of Lincoln really followed you well this year, and there was a lot of love given to you on social media around here, and I'm sure you saw part of it. But it's fun to watch the Lincoln kids move on, and then you're in a great place where we can actually watch, which is pretty cool. A lot of times the kids go to a Division II, Division III school, and you don't get to see anything of them. You just kind of check out the highlights, and with you, we actually got to see you on TV, that's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, which being able to watch, especially on the Mountain West app for free, was really nice.
Really nice.
And Lincoln's been great. I mean, our press people, they were talking to me during an interview or something, and they were like, "Well, yeah, whenever we post anything about you, we get 10 times the viewership and likes and comments and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, when I committed, you didn't just give me, you got the whole town of Lincoln with me," and so that's what's just so amazing.
Crowd favorite. Yeah. So now, do you root for San Diego State to just win the whole thing, so you can kind of walk around and go, "Yeah,
I'd be them
18 up against those guys"?
Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool, especially if they made it pretty far or just
make a run.
represent. Yeah, it'd be really nice. And our Colorado State men's team is actually playing for the championship of the conference. I think tonight, maybe in Vegas. Yeah, so that would be cool if they won. Feel really.
I'll light
nice.
the campus up a little bit, won't it?
Yeah.
There you go. Now, Piper, what were you going to sing? Because
Nothing.
Stop believing.
So you really kind of told us a fib so you could get on
I
there?
didn't say I'd sing. I only sing in Chloe's car.
And what would you sing in Chloe's car?
Everything.
Okay.
High School Musical mostly.
And where are you guys headed today? You told us earlier, so you guys are jumping around.
Cruz and Maddox have a 3-on-3 game going on. So
Right here?
it's in Springfield, I think. Yeah.
Well, May as well pop by that St. Patty's Day parade.
Oh, yeah, lots of Lincoln people going to be down there.
Oh, really? There's.
Oh, yeah, big parade today.
Yeah, stay away from downtown.
be-
I don't know where that 3-on-3's at, but they'll.
Yeah, that could be detrimental to our plans.
Yes, it could. that's all we're saying. That was funny, Jim. You got that. You don't want to be detrimental, or do you?
Do you? Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I had to make sure I got it in there so I could get my donut.
That's good stuff. Well, you know what? We'd like to thank you ladies for joining us today as our time ends.
Well,
And
thanks for having
congratulations.
me. Thank
And
you.
Piper, congratulations. Thanks for being on.
Yep. Thanks for inviting me.
All right. Well, that's
job.
going to do it for the cheap seats today. I'd like to thank all our viewers for stopping in and visiting us. We're at Culver's. Come out and grab a burger or a shake or something. Stop by Furniture Jake's and make it your own.
That it?
That's it. Thanks for being on the cheap seats.
Good day.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.